Here's a problem where students make a very common mistake. So in this case, I have f of x equals 7 minus the absolute value of x. Now, this looks a little bit differently than probably some of the other equations you get when you're first learning how to graph an absolute value function. So you can see just by rearranging some things, sometimes it can look a little bit more confusing and it might throw you off your game. And that's where these common mistakes happen. But the first thing I want you to be able to do is rewrite it in our form that we're used to. That way, if we can write the absolute value in front of the k, we can make sure we identify what exactly are going to be our correct transformations. But the main problem that a lot of students will make is they go ahead and rearrange things and they don't keep the signs in front of our terms. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a negative absolute value of x and this is a positive 7, right? So if I was going to rearrange it, it's going to look like this. So sometimes students will just swap them and they'll say, you know, maybe it'll look like a absolute value of x minus the 7. Don't do that, right? Make sure you always keep your signs in front of each one of your terms. Now, all we simply need to do is identify, well, what exactly are transformations? I have a negative a. Hopefully you remember that's going to reflect about the x-axis. And I have a positive 7, which is going to be shifting our graph upwards. Now, here's where this mega mistake or common mistake always happens. Students go and apply the transformation of shifting the graph up 7 and then reflecting the graph. We do not want to do that. Remember your order of operations. We are going to multiply by our x first, and then we're going to be shifting it up 7. So if we know what the graph of the absolute value function looks like, well, this is going to be our parent graph. Now let's go and apply the transformations. So first we apply the transformation of a reflection. So we're going to take this graph and reflect it about the x-axis. Now it's going to look something like that. Then what we're going to do is shift the graph up 7 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then the graph is going to look like this. There you go. Do not make this common mistake. Always make sure you apply the reflection first and then do the vertical shift.